Hi folks, John O'Leary from Horse Problems Australia, and welcome to the weekly podcast, which is about rein control. This is young Eddie, gorgeous looking young boy he is, and this is about his 7th or 8th ride, I forget which it is, and it's his second time out of the property, but he lacks boldness, as all young horses do, and part of the procedure of breaking in and training the green horse is to be able to expose them to the world and to get them to face up to all of their worries and to make them to grow up and be able to handle everything. That's often not easy, and we often get resistances, and that's normal. And it's about those resistances, and it's about the success that I want to talk to you about today, because it's all about rein control. So the prerequisites are, first, number one, that the lateral mouth of the horse is so good that you actually do have rein control, and then that you are riding on a pleasure rein so that you can operate on one hand or the other in terms of keeping the head of the horse facing the hazard that the horse is trying to evade from. And you can't do that if you ride with a contact in an English way. It just doesn't happen, because if you pull on the right hand rein, you are locking up the left rein. That equals the brakes, not adjustment of the head in the direction of travel, and that equals confusion. And the last thing you want, when all it is that you do want is forwardness, is confusion, because that equals stop, jam up, jack up, as we say in Australia, and possible rear as the evasion. So the golden rule is, in terms of introducing young horses to whatever hazard it is, don't bite my leg, I know you love me, whatever hazard it is, that you simply need to keep the horse's head pointed in the direction where you want to go, then add generation of the horse to go somewhere, and with passive persistence and perseverance and empathy and timing, the young horse must go where it was that you wanted it to go and where you pointed it to go in the first place. Now this little one here, I think, will probably kick out at my western reins as I tap him around the backside, but if he does, I'll simply repeat it. So we'll come around here to this lovely water jump, walk on, and you'll see that as all these young ones, they are worried and they're looking at everything, and changes in the colour of the dirt even. Walk on. Good boy. He's a good boy. And because their head is in front of me, for the first time in their life, they are actually the leader. They're leading me. They haven't got me out in front of them to lead them. Now, we've got water here, and of course this is a massive ask, a very big ask. We would normally start on little dishes, etc. But we have the opportunity of deciding we've got to be tactically smart. Do we try and go straight through this water here? Now remember that he doesn't know. He thinks it's 20 feet deep and full of crocodiles. Or I can pick this little narrow one here and be tactically very smart and go across that. Or the little one on the left. Now I know that that's a little cutout divot which is a little bit deep. So I'm going to choose this one here to start with, so as to have some empathy and understanding for the young horse and to give him half a chance. So we'll go in here, walk on, and I might have to be quiet now, but you'll notice, check out the lateral rein control. Walk on, walk on. Now as I go right rein, you'll know that I'm going left leg. Walk on. Good boy. He's a good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Now, the other thing I want to talk to you about is that allowing the young horse to put his head down. A lot of people, especially those with the English reins, the horse cannot put his head down. But the young horse needs to put his head down on many occasions to be able to sniff out and be absolutely positively sure for himself and have a very good look to see if there are any crocodiles in this water and to try and assess the depth of it. Walk on. Good boy, wood. And to assess the depth of it. And if we don't allow him to put his head and neck down, he can't get the confidence to be able to have a look and decide whether he can go across. Now, a lot of these young horses will actually either dig their way across a ditch, pouring the ground and digging, or in the case of water, they'll actually drink their way across the water. And so therefore, they've got to be able to put their head down. Walk on. Good boy. You've got to reward him. Tell him he's good, and let him have a look. Good boy. He's a good boy. Now, horse trainers have some very big battles with young horses in situations like this, and owners don't know what goes on and what horse trainers have to go through with some of these horses. They just collect them and think, oh, aren't they lovely? But these are some of the things in the real world that the horse trainer has to go through to produce the wonderful horses that people get and the bold horses that people get. Good boy, Eddie. He's a good boy, Eddie. Is he drinking his way into the water? Good boy, Eddie. And so it's all about rein control, and the subject of this is rein control, and to be able to let the reins go, as I keep saying on my website, because if you can't let the reins go, a horse can never lower its neck, it can never suss things out, it can never relax. Good boy. Walk on. Good boy, Eddie. Good boy. He's a lovely boy. Now notice that I'm giving him a very good look, and I'm not asking him straight away to go across there. And you'll see people at the pony club where the horse is frightened of the 44-gallon drum, and the instructor will be saying, take him up to it, make him sniff it. Well, that's over the top ridiculous also. Horses have to be given the time to assess these things, to get their confidence. In the end, all that matters is that we actually went across the water and we had the victory, and the exercise was successful. Good boy, he's a good boy. So we'll leave it at that today. The podcast of the week, rein control on the young green horse. Good boy. Okay, mate, we'll go somewhere else. Catch you next week.